to the Introvert Perspective. I am your host, Chantel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today, I just want to talk about something that I just felt led to share because it was on my heart, something that I had to do a few weeks ago. And I feel like it's necessary for this time, for this season, for any part of your life that you may be stepping into. You may not need this right now, but I assure you, you will need it. So just hang on. Your time is going to come. So what I want to say is when it comes to change or transformation or growth, if you want to use that word, individually, if someone else in your circle or your sphere is not growing, a lot of times it'll be challenged. That relationship, the places that you go to, maybe your place of employment or even where you live physically, it may become uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. And today we're going to talk about something that I believe will just break you from the fear of walking away, or in the words that I received was close the door. Today's episode is entitled Your Relief is in Your Release. I'll say that again. Your relief is in your release. Let it go. Close whatever door that you need to close so that you can completely step into the full expression of who you are, your true identity. You cannot move forward, especially if you have baggage, if you are not where you're supposed to be, if you're holding on to too much. You can't carry everything, nor can you carry everyone. One of the anchor verses, and probably the main anchor verse in this episode, is going to be from 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. It's familiar for most of us. It may not be for everyone, but it says in the NIV to cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Some versions say cast your cares or your worries, just to make it more appetizing as something, or palatable, so you can understand what it is that I'm saying. So what does it mean for me to say that your relief is in your release? Let it go and to close the door. So recently I had to do just what I'm telling you. It was painful, very uncomfortable, but in the end, I had so much relief. I had freedom from closing a door that, one, it was ajar or it was cracked. So if you ever had like a room or, maybe an area in your life where you don't really visit there because you're not sure what you're going to find, or it's too painful to deal with, and you just avoid it altogether. That's what I did. Instead of closing the door to what I needed to close the door to some time back, like literally you're talking years, I just kind of left it there as if it was just going to go away on its own, and it did not. So what I was pressed to do was to just finally close the door. Let go of what it was that I was just holding on to that I didn't want, nor did I need, and I felt that it didn't need me either. A lot of stuff that we're holding on to, guys, is holding us back. And I'm not saying it's about a person. It could be a place. It could be a job. You've gotten comfortable someplace or with someone or something that it has become a crutch. It's become a barrier that you need to push through. You need to move it out the way so that you can actually move forward in your life, if in fact that's what you want to do. So for those of us who actually do want to grow, those of us who want to pursue the identity and the purpose that God has for our existence, this is what's going to happen. It is extremely uncomfortable. I had to have a very difficult conversation, and I hated it. I didn't want to do it. But I knew that I had to be obedient to what I was led to do. And all I'm saying in this particular episode, guys, is that whatever that is, whatever may be coming up for you right now as I'm speaking, whatever door you may not have closed all the way, close it. Let it go. Give it to God and move on. Because that's the only way that we will ever receive the fullness of what God has for us. And what I mean by that is there are things, there are relationships, there are places that we are holding on to because it's comfortable, it's convenient. It may be because of the tenure or the standing that long standing that it may have been in your life. And we're just used to it being there. We're just used to being there. We're just used to going there and having it in our lives. And a lot of times it's time to go. If you want to truly walk this path, you want to walk out what it is that you're supposed to be doing here on this earth, you're going to have to let go of some things, some people, some places, and it's not going to feel good. But that's the only way that you can make room for what God truly has for you, because there are other relationships that are way more important. They have way more weight to them, and they have more capacity for you. And they're going to help you fulfill what it is that God called you to do. But you will never know them. You may never have room for that person or those people because of what you're holding on to. You may never know that, hey, if I move to this place that I always wanted to move to, but just didn't know how to do it, I just keep feeling that I need to go there, that this is the place that you are, to really flourish in. This is where you're going to thrive. This is where you're supposed to be. This is the land that God has given you. Take it. This is where your authority is going to be at max. You'll never know if you don't take those steps. So all I'm saying today is that your relief is in your release. So whatever that looks like for you, of course, it may not look the same as me. I may not need to release what you need to release. You may not need to release what someone else needs to release, but whatever it is, you know what it is. Let it go so that you can get the relief that you need, so that you can make room for the more. You can make room for the exceeding, the abundant life that God has for you. We don't know what's best for us. Only God does. We only think we know. So just put down what it is that you're holding or that you're trying to just nurture that really needs to just go. I heard a quote a few years ago. I don't know who it's by, but I love it. It says, don't let the hand that you're holding hold you back. It may not be a physical hand. It may be a job. It may be a place. It may be a thought, your thought pattern. Of course, it may be a person, but only you know that. So I just thank you guys for tuning into this episode. I didn't want to be on here before you long. I just wanted to give you what I feel that I was led to release. So again, I am Chantel. This is the Introvert Perspective. And please remember that your relief is in your release. So let go whatever it is so that you can truly become who God has called and purposed you to be.